Welcome to our presentation on C.S.E.F.E.L. The name and background representing C.S.E.F.E.L. C.S.E.F.E.L. stands for the Center on the Social and Emotional Foundations for Early Learning. It was founded in 2001 by the Office of Head Start and the Office of Child Care as a national resource center. Its goal was to dispense and disseminate research and evidence-based practices to early childhood programs across the country. C.S.E.F.E.L. developed the pyramid model to promote the social and emotional competence of infants and young children. As you can see on the slide, there is an image of the pyramid starting from the bottom and going up to the top. In 2008, the U.S. Department of Education founded TACSEI, which stands for Technical Assistance Center on Social and Emotional Interventions. It was created to support children dealing with disabilities, learning disabilities, and other disabilities. Together, the two programs helped complete and round out the pyramid model. This new pyramid model helped decision makers, caregivers, and service providers develop an enhanced awareness of, understanding, and ability to use evidence-based practices to improve the social emotional outcomes for young children with disabilities or who are at risk. The pyramid model itself is broken into 4 major sections, one of which is divided into 2, causing 5 sections throughout the whole pyramid. The bottom starts with effective workforce, the next above it nurturing and responsive relationships, then high-quality supportive environments, then targeted social-emotional supports, and lastly, intensive intervention. Each section then goes into detail providing programs and systems that help create and maintain the before-mentioned sections. Some of these programs and systems will be mentioned in further slides.
The pyramid model is a framework. It's a framework for how to go about teaching children social-emotional skills and meeting the social-emotional needs of children. When children learn social-emotional skills when they're very young, it will help them in everything they do. It's going to help them not only go to school and be successful in school, but be happy. And when people are happy, they thrive.
So we teach arithmetic, we teach writing, we teach all these things, but we don't teach kids how to manage or label or identify or deal with their feelings and emotions in appropriate ways. We expect them to just figure it out. The pyramid model creates a set of practices and structures that allow families and teachers to help their children understand the dynamics of social emotional development and figure out how to manage those day-to-day interactions in appropriate ways. We know from research that when we apply the different evidence-based practices and strategies that comprise the framework, that within the base tier, which looks at supportive in relationships and predictable environments, that about 80 to 85% of behavior issues and concerns are resolved just by making the environment predictable and reinforcing and safe for kids. When we look at that center tier, or that one that looks at teaching specific skills, we can resolve about another 10 to 12% of those behaviors and issues just by specifically teaching a child, here's how we sit, or how to move from one activity to another in a way that is acceptable to everyone else around them. And so we can resolve those, which leaves only about 3 to 5% of those kids at that top tier that need additional interventions or additional supports that the rest of the children wouldn't necessarily need.
Mental health consultation, when you bring maybe a mental health consultant or an early childhood specialist in to consult about a specific child, it really only deals with that specific child. In the pyramid model, that it really talks about what is good for all children. And many times if you implement what is good for all children, the children who are experiencing some difficulties benefit from that. And then you might need to give them a little bit extra support around specific areas that are within the pyramid model as far as relationships or their different strategies around social skills, but you get more out of implementing the pyramid for all children rather than it just really focusing on one child at a time.
When we provide adults with training and then coaching on how to implement what they've been trained on and how so they can continue to grow professionally, that is what makes the biggest difference. I see children who really struggled, who really had challenging behavior to get what they needed, grow into children who are able to say, "Can I have that when you're done?" Or if they're really little, "Next," instead of going over and hitting someone to get what they want. That's the most fulfilling thing.
The purpose of the Center on the Social and Emotional Foundation for Early Learning is to empower early educators with the necessary tools to support social emotional competence in children ages birth through age 5. To strengthen the capacity of the children's centers and to empower the social and emotional outcomes of young children. To help early childhood educators meet the needs of the growing number of children with challenging behavior and mental health concerns. To promote the social emotional development and social readiness of young children. Continuing with the purpose of C.S.E.F.E.L, it strengthens the capacity of child care and Head Start to improve the social and emotional outcomes of young children. C.S.E.F.E.L also provide an extensive series of short, easy-to-read how-to information packages on a variety of evidence-based practices, strategies, and intervention procedures that is designed to help teachers and other caregivers to support young children's social and emotional development. They include examples that illustrate how practical strategies might be used in different ways in early childhood setting and in home environments.
Benefits of the C.S.E.F.E.L, which stands for Center on the Social and Emotional of Early Learning. Number one, it provides for teacher and caregiver scripted stories for different social situations, such as how a child can be a friend, how a child can use their words, and what a child does in circle time. These are a few stories I have mentioned, but there are many more the teacher or caregiver can give. Number two, it provides the teacher and caregiver with resources on how to give positive feedback and encouragement to children. Some of the positive feedbacks are you do a dynamic job. You must be very proud of yourself. It really pleases me. Number three, it also provides resources for parents. Some of resources are tips on temperament, teaching your child discipline and self-control, tips on getting a baby to sleep. I have listed 5, but there are much more parent tips listed. Number 4, they also provide training kits for care that include PowerPoint slides, note pages, activities, and handouts. Some of the subjects are helping children understand routines and classroom schedules, helping children to manage their own behavior, and promoting positive peer social interaction. I have named a few of them, but it is 24 training kits listed. These are the benefits of the C.S.E.F.E.L.
Pros and cons. Pros. Children that are learning about C.S.E.F.E.L are able to understand emotions that they are capable to have and understand other children's emotions as well. Children who know how to show and control emotions are also better in dealing with frustration, less likely involving themselves in fights. With this focus, children also have better academic achievement and they show a high level of vocabulary. The children that participate in this group are also children with disabilities like children with ADHD, speech and language delays, deafness, and hard of hearing, and it has shown a great development. Cons. Many children that do the C.S.E.F.E.L program ignore many other learning methods that can also help children development in their growth and their academic achievement. It doesn't show children about how to be more open about their spiritual side and how not to be selfish with others because there's things that are greater than themselves. It also has nothing to do with children's physical fitness, and that includes big motor skills. It doesn't show children anything about the environment and no encouragement in showing them to learn outdoor. Would you implement it in your classroom and work? Why or why not? I would implement it in my classroom, but I wouldn't make it the topic of my class because I do believe that children are able to understand most emotions on their own, even if they don't understand them right away. Children should be learning emotions as they get older and with time because you can teach children emotions, but what if they haven't ever felt that emotion they are trying to teach them? What are they learning then? We do believe that it doesn't do anyone harm to have a class time to ask children how they feel and if they know why they feel that emotion and explain to them how they can work out the way they feel to feel better or to show them how to calm their feelings depending on the feelings they are having. For work, I would not implement this because at work everyone is older and should be able to be more mature to understand how to work with people. Know that everyone that you work with will not be the same and have different opinions for everything.